This is Lasalle Legends. And look at this play. Philly special! Why not? Philly! Here's Waller. Waller goes behind his back. Lasalle with two. At the horn. Hits it! Ball game.
Unbelievable!
Shot from an off angle, they score! Daniel Sambuco with 28 seconds left. 4-3, and then LaSalle with 28 seconds left. They get one more! They score again! And they lead 5-4. Here's Kiska on the drive. Timby, an open three. Good! Jake Timby does it again!
Good evening once again, everybody. Welcome into this edition of LaSalle Legends, where we sit down with some of the greatest teams, players, and coaches and explore history and relive their finest hour. Tonight, it is the 1998 LaSalle hockey team, winners of the state championship as well as the Flyers Cup championship en route to the state championship, and led by head coach Wally Muehlbronner, who joins us here today, as well as starting goaltender Justin Levin, who's going to help us introduce a cavalcade of his teammates here today. Justin, a wonderful job getting everybody on board and on the call here tonight. We're so excited to revisit what was an unbelievable 1998 Flyers Cup championship game from the Core State Spectrum.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you setting this up and the opportunity. I think I speak on a lot of the guys that it's good to see a lot of guys that we haven't seen in a number of years, so we appreciate this opportunity.
It's an absolute pleasure. Yeah, this is one of the great teams in LaSalle history and one that was on our short list of getting this on the docket for LaSalle Legends. So if you could, bring us through the roster and the guys that join us here tonight.
Sure. Number 2, Shane Riley. He still signs his name number 2. He's on the call. Number 10, Dan Becker. Number 9, Mike Loftus. We've got number 16, Ryan Scioli, now Ryan Moffitt. We've got number 8, Pete Nachione. We've got 24, Sean Herron. We've got number 19, Kevin Brady. Number 20, Bobby Farrell. We've got number 7, Sweet Lou Merlini. And we also have number 4, Danny Felix. I think I got everybody.
Yeah, no, I'm here too.
Oh, Moriello. Number 15. How can I forget Moriello?
We don't recognize him.
Yeah, number 15.
I look a little bit different, you know. It's been 22 years, right?
Yeah.
How about our scratches tonight, Levin?
And then who wasn't able to join us, we've got number 6, Sean Garvin. We have number 11, Brad Bathgate. 13, Brant Heaton. Number 14, James Nowicki. Number 17, Ryan Cohen. 25, Drew Santillo. What a beauty. And 27, Pat Salvini. And 35, Greg Mulchin.
Great. Thanks for the introductions there.
And we also have assistant coach Tom Rodolfi.
Welcome,
and
Coach.
The other assistant, John Haggerty, is not on the call as well. Is not here.
That's great. Well, we're looking forward to watching this game with you all. And now I'll ask head coach Wally Muehlbronner. This was first year of your tenure, your long tenure here at Salle College High School. Break us down, if you could. Walk me through this game, what it meant to you and what it meant to your team.
Yeah, well, it was obviously a great group of guys. And for my first year, I was blessed to be loaded with a guys that had an awful lot of talent. But I think very similar to the other team we discussed earlier on this, last month, was that these guys were tremendous competitors. They absolutely hated to lose. I think the one quality that really stands out to me the most about these guys is that they were skilled, but more than the fact that they were skilled is that they were tough. These were guys that really would be more than willing to go at it anytime, anywhere, at any place, you name it. These guys were ready to go. So they were the ultimate competitors. And for me, they eventually became the benchmark of what teams in my tenure at LaSalle had to measure up to. And it took a long time it took 10 years until we had another state championship hockey team. So it shows you that we had some good teams in that span of the 10 years between these guys and the 08 team, but it's not an easy thing to do. And these guys had the quality of being able to battle through adversity, especially down the stretch. We won a lot of really tight games with a lot of meaning. When it absolutely counted the most, they absolutely had the guts and got in there and got the job done. So tremendous competitors, tough kids, and it's great to see them here tonight to watch the game together.
Well, it certainly was a great game. Head coach Neil Bronner there, and we'll see that over the course of tonight. Really, though, you talk about the lights shining bright. The lights were shining very bright this evening as you play the game at Core State Spectrum with none other than Gene Hart doing the play-by-play on Comcast. I mean, that is incredible. Kids these days, maybe if they're lucky, they get a novice Bob Long call on their games for them. But Gene Hart, wow. I mean, did you guys sense at the moment everything that really entailed to have a legend like that calling your game on regional television?
For me personally, I think it's certainly very cool. I think at the time we didn't know any different. I mean, Gene Hart was Gene Hart. He was the man, and obviously grew to be the legendary announcer that he was. But I don't think we knew any different at the time. I think we maybe took it for granted. But watching this video a couple weeks ago when we were planning on doing this, it was pretty cool to see Gene Hart there doing the game.
Well, it'll be exciting to pipe in some Gene Hart commentary over the course of this one. But most importantly, we're excited to relive this game together as a team here, the 1998 LaSalle College High School hockey team. Again, the Flyers Cup final is what we'll be watching from the Core State Spectrum as they take on a very talented GA team, and this was worth the price of admission. So with that, we'll take you to Puck Drop here on LaSalle Legends.
Taking notes.
I watched the 08 game, and the game is certainly different. The game is just played so differently between the 08 and the 98 game, just in general.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of this game just to make sure that it all worked, and I remember us being faster than what I actually saw on that.
Well, Herron got annoyed at the Hall of Fame because I think I said we weren't a talented hockey team, and then I watched the 08 game and I realized we weren't really a talented hockey team. That was pretty talented. But Herron was our most talented guy, so I understand why he was probably upset.
It's just so different now. It's so much skill. But we had the toughness, and that's why we went all the way. We didn't have to rely on skill. You can teach skill. You can't teach toughness.
Because we had an older group, too. We had only one freshman on the team, right?
Yeah, I think it was Garvin.
Yeah.
That's right. I guess a lot of us were on that team the year before when we kind of lost Boyertown the year before, guys. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Right, because you guys won it in 96, right? Won Flyers Cup in 96.
We won it in 96 and then lost the next year. And I think we just got stopped by a strong goalie that year and then came back to this year.
Okay.
You got your picture.
Look at that guy.
Look at that young guy.
Hasn't changed a bit.
No.
It's not a bad record there, though.
That was a great first year, guys.
Yeah. Love Levin's haircut.
Most hair I've had probably since then.
Most hair I've had since then.
Pete, you don't look a whole lot different. I'll tell you that much.
Except for a little bit of hair. I showed this video to my kids, and they acted like it was black and white. They wanted to know why I looked like that.
Standard definition.
They didn't even have cell phones when they played this game. So.
I remember waiting outside. Didn't we have to wait with GA on the tunnel to go in?
Yeah, but as you said before, we knew a lot of these guys because we played a lot of them. A lot of us played together with them on WIS.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys knew a lot of them. Like, we never played them during the regular season. That I didn't realize that until we watched this. Until I watched it the other night. Right, this is the first time we played them, correct?
Yeah.
That season.
Yeah. It was the only time we played them all season. I don't think I personally never played against like Kyle and Neary, even though it was the first time I ever played against Neary.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that jumped out at me, Bob Long, you're familiar with Tier 1 hockey now. There's a lot more Tier 1 hockey teams now than there were, back in 97, 98. But I remember Malvern and GA were loaded with guys that played Tier 1, and we were loaded with guys that could have played Tier 1 if they wanted to, but chose to play Tier 2. And, I just think that was kind of we were very much a blue-collar type approach. We were a really tough, hard-working team that had skill and could finish when we needed to. So I think some teams might have taken this for granted because they knew we were a lot of Tier 2 guys, but we're pretty tough throughout the year.
Tier 2.
I think the only guys. I know we struggled against O'Hara, who had. I think Morgan was their goalie, and I forget their player. They had a really good.
Kevin Odie.
Odie.
Yeah.
Brady. Number 20, Robert Farrell. Number 24, Sean Heron. Number 25, Drew Santillo. And number 27, Pat Salvini. The head coach, Wally Mulebronner. The assistant, Tom Rodolfi, John Haggerty, and Andrew Padova.
Well, I just saw Ron Hextall imitation there as the goaltender for Germantown Academy has been banging away at the pipes with either side of his stick.
Yes, Danny Angeline is a very quick goaltender. He transferred from Haverford High at the beginning of this year.
Becker, you run into any of these refs?
Who's ref in the game?
I didn't even recognize their names.
It's probably a Lansky.
No, it's not.
One of them's Leo. Leo Boylan.
Leo, yeah.
Yeah, I skate with Leo a lot still.
Father Ed had a lot to say about those referees prior to the game there. He thought very highly of them.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of the refs. I spent half the game in the box.
You're kidding.
Come on, Wall. You know that was a clean hit.
Yeah.
I would have left my whistle in the locker room.
I was just thinking the amount of hooking and clutching and grabbing and everything that the game is just so different.
And it goes up on the right side to Holmes. Holmes at an angle right, shot right on, and we had our first shot on goal after 45 seconds of play. Picked off by Germantown Academy. Jabba. I guess his nickname has to be Jabba the Hutt.
Yes.
To the far side. Jabba picks it up. Jobba. There's a long shot that's caught on a deflection on the way in and grabbed by the goaltender. We get our first stoppage of play. So it was grabbed by Justin Levin.
Wearing the whisk hats, huh, Levin?
I was just going to say. the blue,
I
right?
think I wore them they went into college too.
Yeah.
That's a sign of the times, Justin, huh? How much the goalie equipment's changed.
Oh, yeah.
I was just thinking the same about the jerseys, how much they've changed now from when we had them.
Yeah, they're Lasalle's jerseys are fancy now.
what was it, a little Explorer head, though, in between the L? That was a pretty good look. I haven't seen that Explorer ever before.
Somebody designed it. I think it was Fullerton. Remember Sean Fullerton? His brother Tommy played hockey. I think Sean Fullerton designed that for Nolan.
It was Harris Danoff, and the puck shot all the way down, and as it crosses the goal line, there's no icing, as they say that play should have been carried on. And there's a forecheck that's missed, and Lasalle with the puck clears into the neutral zone. Picking it off on the near side is Kyle Neary. He wears the number 47. They put it in behind the net. Justin Levin feeds off to the near side. That's Dan Mcdonald trying to forecheck, but out comes Felix on the right wing at center right. Puck taken away by Justin Holmes. He wears the number 3. Forechecking on that right side is Peter Narog. Round to the near side. Pass intercepted, but it flips off now to Felix, and Felix clears into the neutral zone for LaSalle. Now Germantown Academy with the puck. They head man.
Who remembers the line combinations?
It was definitely me, Salvini, and Scioli. I know that.
There was Farrell, Brady, and Heaton.
It was me, Sean, and Pete, right?
Yeah.
Aaron, Nachion, and Felix.
Yeah.
And then Merlini with Lou, who'd you play with? Rye? Cohen? And Nowicki?
I can't remember. Maybe that was the line junior year. Senior year was me and Sean and Pete.
Like, I think you just gave me some shit for some stuff for not passing.
I think Salvini was with Loftus. Here was Salvini and Scioli, right?
Yeah, Salvini and Scioli. Yeah.
Oof. Good save.
Keeping us in early, Levin.
Yeah.
I don't even think that went on net. I think somehow, I'm not sure.
Well, let's say it was a great save. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Bathgate sent, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Oh, yeah, there's the hit.
That Drew, right?
Yeah, Drew told me, he texted me, I said, you're going to join. He's like, I didn't play much, so I'm not going to join. That was his response.
All right, he just drilled that kid at center ice on my.
Yeah, but if you listen.
He had a little Nearside in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Gene Hart gives the other guy. He goes, "Oh, Santori."
I know he does.
Yeah.
That's twice really quick he's played.
Oof. Oof. I just got rocked. Who was that? That was me.
I don't know if I don't think Wally, you ever shared it, but Bathgate forwarded me an email he sent back, I guess, a couple years ago. I guess more for Riley. He reminded me, I don't really remember, but I guess the game before. Did Riley, you knock a puck out of the crease against Malvern in overtime? I don't know. It was Bathgate put a real nice email together of different points, and I totally forget that. I guess in overtime in the game before that, Riley knocked the puck literally out of the midair that was going in overtime.
Shane, do you remember that, or are you muted and you can't?
Take credit for it.
He'll take credit for it.
No, I do remember it. I just did my job, you know? That was it. Nothing fancy about what I did.
Rodolfo, you remember when we were looking for Riley up in Pittsburgh at BetCheck?
I kept thinking of that story.
Yeah, you can tell it.
He wanted to sit outside the bar so he could watch fights. Is that what you're talking about? He couldn't find me. I'm going to sit outside the bars and watch the fights. That's who we ended. I think that's who we ended up playing in the next game, right? With
yeah.
Central Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I looked at their. I think Harron, you had told me, but I think their goalie is now the assistant coach of Michigan at Michigan.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
he played at Union, and Downey obviously runs Lehigh Valley.
Yeah. Yep.
Downey's still with Penn State?
No, he left. He's running the Lehigh Valley. He's in the Flyers. Well, I guess the Lehigh.
Okay. Last I saw him was we were playing we played Malvern down there after Penn State played Princeton or something down at Wachovia Center, or whatever it is now. And that Connor Varley was playing for Penn State at that time, who played at LaSalle for a couple years.
Weird how hockey with a small community. Downey, he actually played at Wissahickon in senior hockey for a couple years too.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is battling in there as well as defenseman Mike Moriello, wearing 15 with the puck up on the right side and comes into the neutral zone. For checking is Felix. Oh, there's a big elbow that really buries Sean Heron, number 24. I thought that might have been an elbow, Father, but somehow it was overlooked.
Well, one of the things with these two officials, they're going to let the players play, and if it gets a little physical, they'll bring it back.
Yeah, that's right, Danny McDonald.
A lot of Drexel guys in this game.
Anthony Saravalli, my cousin, Jason Jolly.
Saravalli.
I sent them both a copy of this just to rub it in.
I know, yeah. Yeah. I was going to see if they wanted to join.
Hey, Levette, I don't have video.
Yeah.
Just let me know when I score.
Absolutely.
And that's every period, I think. At least one period.
Aaron, you almost had a check last shift, almost. You were thinking about it.
This close, this close.
Round rink, man. You don't need to go in the corners in a round rink.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of us.
When you have the puck come all the way back in your own end, that's not good. And here's the chance by Meyers getting up into the play. And it turned out to be a very good scoring opportunity. Not usual when you see the defenseman up in the slot like that.
Salvini for LaSalle. Norog for Germantown Academy on the face-off. Rugby scrum in the offensive right corner for LaSalle, trying to dig the puck out is centerman Joe Scioli. Nothing happens there. Ryan Scioli, actually, as the puck comes back to the point. Winding up Badgate, puts it around behind the net to the offensive left corner. On that far side, Scioli battles for it. Germantown Academy digs it off. It's up for grabs. Now they got a slot shot in front. And there's a scramble, and that puck never really comes clear onto the stick of the Explorers, and that play is broken up.
Yeah, that was Lofton and Scioli.
Was that Loftus they were trying with the backhand going in?
That or Scioli.
I should have had a couple.
Mike had a couple good chances.
Couldn't finish though, you know.
Becker, you have a pretty good perspective of like how the game's a little different now because you're officiating a lot of our games. But like, how would you say it's changed from going back to this game to where the game's at now?
It's not as physical. They want to get all the big hits out of the games anymore.
You listen to Nolan, he'll tell you it's not physical anymore.
No. I tell kids all the time when they look at me and say, hey, aren't you going to call a penalty? I'm like, why don't you take his number and get him later?
Wiki is stripped to the puck, and away it comes to center right. Speed down that left side to Skilton, who has had their best chance. Cuts in, shoots right on. And a left pad save on that side by Levin. That was the best shot of the game so far.
Yes, it was. And he can shoot from the top of the circles, and he can hit the net from there.
Penetration by Joe Lumerlini, and there's a drive.
I loved Skilton, man. Me and Bob played with that dude for a couple years. He's probably the funniest dude I've ever met in my whole entire life. I remember one time he lit Pete Nolan up too, man. He skated right past the bench.
He was a tough kid too, wasn't he?
Yeah, him and Danny Mac.
Was he always at GA?
Face was like beat red.
Did he always go to Germantown Academy? Or was he transferring there? Yeah.
Yeah, Skelton went there. Yeah, he was always there. Danny Mac was the one who shut the puck at no one.
Yeah.
He got $100 for that one.
And he played for him almost a year later.
We got to be getting one soon here, don't we?
I'm not sure. I think.
Aaron will know.
Yeah.
Didn't Heron score the same goal kind of twice almost? Like off of good save.
Yeah, he caught Danny out a little far on two of them.
Both on a rebound, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely the first one. Trying to remember the second one. I remember Danny's goal.
I guess we'll find out.
First one was from the goal line.
Yeah, I think it.
I don't know if you want to give it away. I mean,
are we going to score here?
You kind of.
Hey.
Yeah, I think this is the shift.
And dropped back into the zone along the far side. Picked up by defenseman Anthony Saravalli. He can't get out. Now LaSalle starting to put on the forechecking pressure. Saravalli tries to pin his man against the board. He's tripped. That's centering pass. Oh, it went right through the skate far side of Danny Felix when he had the open net. Another time. On that left
That's from the goal line, huh?
And it was an odd shot.
I think he banked it off the defenseman.
To Sean Heron.
Pretty good sustained pressure there.
Gene, we'll see.
I forgot Becker was a defenseman. He kept pinching down. I'm like,
yeah.
I forgot he was a
You were a
defenseman.
defenseman, weren't you? I forgot about that too.
Tried to sneak in as much as I could.
24.
That Danoff?
Oh, who was that?
I know.
Yeah.
No. 7's Danoff. I don't know 5.
Now 5 might have been Sarvalli.
Anthony Saravalli,
Yeah,
right?
Anthony. Yeah.
Thanks, Anthony.
He was a defenseman, Mike?
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
plus, yeah, he played.
GA, like, I don't think they were anywhere near as deep as we were, right? I mean, they pretty much ran 2 lines.
Yeah. They only had 2 lines.
They
They
never were.
heavy.
If you guys remember from the 96 team, they only played 2 defensemen.
They only had 7 guys in
Yeah, they had
96.
Yeah,
They couldn't even have 2 lines.
Yeah, they had 3-day and they basically played 2 the entire
They
time.
played 2. It was my brother was on that team, and then Danny McDonald was the other one that played.
In 96?
In 96.
Yeah, and I want to say Harris Danoff was the third that would just spell him every once in a while, I think.
I actually think it might have been Danny McDonald's sister.
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right. No, you're right.
No, she wasn't there.
No?
Yeah.
No. Not 96.
Right. Nice move down that left wing side by Neary. Neary right in. He had an earlier play like that and missed the net. He can skate.
Yes, he is very good on his feet, Gene, and he can handle the puck extremely well.
Neary and Skilton there for Germantown Academy, and Shane Riley, the defenseman for LaSalle. That's the standoff. You get a stoppage of play.
I think Father Casey makes a point at some point into the broadcast about how I think Gio does only play 2 lines for the most part.
We'll be back with more of our championship AAA game, the Flyers Cup, after this. And here's the goal.
Moriello makes the play here, Gene, because he gets it on net. Angeline comes out and challenges, but he can't get back to the near post in time.
That's pretty skilled there, Aaron. They're showing the replay.
Aaron over on the corner, and it's 1-0 LaSalle.
What, the goal?
Yeah. Well, even the play off the wall, you alluded 2 guys on the wall, on your knees, throw it across the crease.
No look shot, and banked it in. Yeah.
Put the puck on net. Good things happen. Usually I just pass to Pete.
Nat Jones a sniper. You'll hear that.
Why do you think I'd always pass to him?
I know, right?
Pick up the primary.
Yo, 96 Meadville was insane, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they won 3-2. They outshot us like 69-7.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, was it McCullion had it was Greg McCullion a goalie.
So that dude stood on his head and then went up north, right?
You went to Berkshire? Or Deerfield?
I think he went to Berkshire.
Yeah.
He's still playing men's league around here.
Patty McCullough's playing men's league around here?
Yeah, he plays for Lubers.
Nice.
Plays against that West travel team.
Where's he play out of? Plays out of Risk?
Yeah. They play out of Grundy, his team, or Northeast.
Have any of you guys been skating in the backdoor ranks?
I tried to this year, but they canceled spring league.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Becker every once in a while gets to see me try to play.
Yeah, a few of you guys still have it, right, Pete?
Yeah, no.
Pete, you playing up at Hatfield?
I was. I play over at Oaks now with a couple of buddies.
Yeah.
And refs a lot. See him a lot.
Too much.
Yeah, and then he refed my kid. He refed my kid's in-house game, and he gave a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old a penalty. I started yelling at him, and they thought I lost my head, and I said, "No, I know him. It's okay."
You got to teach him early to yell at the refs.
You were just bitter that other kid didn't show up, and you had to get on the ice.
Yeah, I was supposed to coach him at the ref of the game.
Sounds unbiased.
Bob Long, what jumps out to you? Having this is probably one of the older Lasalle hockey games you've watched, I would say, right?
This would be the oldest Lasalle hockey game I've watched, yes. I love it. I mean, listen, you guys play hard. I mean, like a lot of Wally's teams, you forecheck hard, you control the puck well. The game of hockey is different at this time frame. There's no doubt about it. But, I mean, you guys are competing really hard here, and I think the presentation of the game as well is tremendous. There you go. There's a good look at Wally right there.
I was gonna say that helps that we have Gene Hart doing the commentary.
Yeah, that's right. It does not hurt.
It's a good thing this was the Flyers Cup final game and not the Malvern one. This would be a 4-hour call. He'd have to do like a mini documentary on it, like a mini series.
3-part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we did.
Intermezzo.
We didn't make it easier on ourselves then.
Yeah.
Well, we played them like 4 times that year, didn't we? Like at least twice in regular season. Then we probably played them in like the inter-county playoffs, and I think we beat them every time.
I remember a one in. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was that year. It might have been the first time we played them. You know, they were the defending Flyers Cup champions, and I think we beat them by a
crushed
bunch.
them.
9-2.
It might have
we
been.
come to practice the next.
We almost 10-goaled them.
Yeah, we come to practice the next day. And you just skated us.
That was the follow. Oh no, that was. I think that was senior year.
That was a different game.
I think that was the senior year, and that was over Christmas, and I had to go to WIS and talk to Wally. I think I had to go to WIS and find out why we were skating. And he said, "Well, you're skating." So I said, "All right, well, I guess we're skating."
Well, didn't we let him back in it? I thought we were up by like.
That was Bonner.
And we pulled away again.
That was Bonner. It was 6-1 after the first period, 8-1 after the second period. We won 9-1, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
And then skated that week. I think that was senior.
That was like December 21st or something like that, and then we had practice a day or two later, and it was like right before Christmas.
Yeah.
Maybe he did it a different time because I remember it too. And this, this was my senior year, so I wasn't with you guys the next year.
I don't know. That might have been your senior year, junior, but I remember that game definitely.
So you're saying Wally made us skate more than once?
Hey,
Yeah,
you guys,
I guess there's multiple times we could
After
say
a
that.
big win.
When it's all said and done, the conditioning paid
And that
off.
pays off in the
It
end.
did.
Yeah, for sure.
Goal line and back. Far blue and back.
Aaron was the only guy never got
had a
tired.
cannon, man, from the point.
Back to Malvern, you're right. We beat them every time that year, and we also beat them every time the following year, except for the last time, which was for seniors like myself and Levin. That was our last game.
the semifinals, right?
Yeah, we beat them 7 straight.
34. Chasing back at his own zone. Trying to make the play is Nate Meyers. Comes up on the right side into the neutral zone, though he's checked hard on the play by Heaton. Busting over line, Narog dropped to the right side. Shot high and wide to the long side. That was generated by Mcdonald. I think we've got a delay penalty coming up against Lasalle. We do. The goaltender is out. The extra forward is out there. Penetration by Meyers, and we get a stoppage of play.
Looks like it's going to be number 13, Gene, Brand Heaton, for tripping, as Meyers got away from him a bit and started down that right side. And I think it was number 13, Brant Heaton, is going to go off for the first penalty of the game.
Malvern had some good teams. There's some pretty good play. That I think even our senior year they had Lawrence. I don't know if he was a freshman, if he was there junior or this year, but
He was our year. He was me and Mike and Pete's year.
Yeah, he was actually. Yeah, he was a year behind us.
he went to Michigan State, wasn't that?
That was him.
That was Lawrence, right?
Yeah, it was Lawrence, Chris Lawrence. Yeah.
Who was the big guy? Was it like Igor or something?
Yeah, Igor.
Igor Settle.
Yeah, they had like they
my ribs.
had exchange students.
Well, Watson, Chase, they had Lawrence, Watson, Igor, Bedwell, or Oliver Bedwell.
Yeah, I know.
What about that kid that played at Drexel then?
Well, so remember Chris Mavromatis?
Yes.
Good defenseman. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I think I was. Were we done playing at Drexel?
No,
I think I was coaching. And all of a sudden, Mavromatis shows up. And I don't even know what year he is, and he decides he wants to play. He lasts like a weekend, gets hit once, and he's done. He's like, doesn't.
Yeah, with like a V-neck cut way low, suntan, and it's like middle of October.
Yeah.
But who you were talking about, Pete? Lukas or whatever? That was Wyoming Seminary. I'm not sure if that was this year or the following or the next year. But I remember that game when we went up and played the Seminary at their place, and that first shift, their entire first line started speaking Czech.
Yeah, Pavlicek, Lukas Pavlicek, right?
They were all 3 of them were Czech exchange students.
Not a whole lot different now.
A little different.
There's still a lot of Canadians now. That's what they have. Not as many. Say it till it's hit. You guys played a lot more games back then than we play now. I think it looked like we played like 36 games, something like that, maybe more.
Something 30, close to 40? Yeah, 36, yeah.
Yeah.
We went to where'd we go? That was year we went to Meadville, and we also went up and did South Kent, Trinity Pauling, right?
Yeah.
We played South Kent that year. We went to the Central Catholic tournament too.
Yep.
Right.
Central Catholic, right?
That's right. We won that tournament too.
Yeah, we crushed Central Catholic in that tournament.
16-1.
I remember. I don't know if you remember that one. I remember one of those games. It might have been against Bethel Park that my skate broke, and I had to play the game with a rental skate. One rental skate, one regular skate.
Yeah, I remember that, Mike.
I think I came up to you, Rodolphe, and I was like, I think there's something wrong with my skate.
Yeah, it's cracked.
Busted wheel.
Who's the Trinity Pauling kids? Every single one was like 6'3".
Yeah.
They were huge.
I think that was the first time I ever played a hockey game and realized there was a whole nother level of hockey somewhere else outside of Montgomery County. Although I remember, I think I was a freshman. I guess Heron probably knows about it. A bunch of guys. I was a freshman, didn't go to Lasalle, and asked to back up the Hill LaSalle game that year. And I think Vigorita was in net. Or maybe Viggs wasn't there and McCullen played. And that was when they had like Snee was the goalie for Hill and Caloric played. It was like, well, that was a whole new game to watch.
Justin, weren't you our JV goalie that year?
Yeah, I played JVB, I guess, freshman. I didn't go to LaSalle and then transferred.
You were our only goalie we had, right?
Yeah, I think so.
They also had Chris Balla.
Yeah, I was just hoping that – I didn't think I was going to – I had to back up that game, and I was like, I'm good with this view.
Yeah, Balla went to end up at Merrimack, I think.
Yeah, Merrimack.
Harvard.
And then Harvard. Yeah, Harvard. Drafted by the Senators and had a short, brief stint. I think he played like 6-10 games with them. Something like that.
Still watching.
He's back at Hill. I think he's the coach of Hill now.
Yeah, Val's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's done a great job with that program. Really has. Pretty nice rink on campus now. A little different than when we played there. When you guys played there. Water bottles freezing on the bench.
Yeah. Well, it was open then too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You get the snow drift every once in a while blowing in.
Yeah, Tom, their new rink now is it's like a college rink. It's beautiful.
I think me, Loftus, and Scioli had games playing back in winter sport when we were mites playing at the open rink in Pompano.
Oldest I've ever been.
I'd be crying.
Yeah.
Crying, getting my skates off.
Let's hope winter sport hangs in there a little longer. That's due to become a dormitory or something, right? Isn't that what they're saying?
I heard that.
Where do you practice at, Wow? Where do you practice at now?
We're at Wissahickon, with varsities at Wissahickon, usually twice a week, and then we have 3 slots at Hatfield per week as well, which we can use for JV or we can use for varsity games or JV games. So, Hatfield we're renting about 8 hours a week from Hatfield, and
yeah, they love us there.
About 6 hours a week from Wissahickon.
Are you coaching, Mike?
Yeah, I'm assistant with the first JV team.
Nice.
How many teams do you have now, Wall?
We have 3. Yeah, we've been at 3 for – 3's really, I think, the ideal number. One year we had, I think, 4 or 5. I think
we had 5. The one time you had 5.
Yeah.
Me and Pete coached the freshman team with Zoldi, Pine, maybe Denzi. No, I don't know if Denzi. They were freshmen. Pete and I had.
Yeah.
You had 5 teams that year.
Yeah. Yeah, but 3's ideal. It gets tough. There's only so much ice out there, and honestly, it's hard to find guys that can coach teams, especially with practices being in the afternoon. It gets really hard.
How was the team this past year?
We're really, really came on at the end of the year. Definitely got off to a rough start. It was a lot of new guys, but they probably had progressed as much as any team I've had in the time I've been at LaSalle. It was really great to see.
Yeah, it was definitely a different team watching them at the end of the year than it was at the beginning.
Yeah, and we had very good goaltending, so we were, I think, really in a very good position. At the end, unfortunately, the semifinal games is when everything ended for the AAA Flyers Cup. So we were supposed to play St. Joe's, and Holy Ghost was going to play Father Judge. That's where it stands right now.
On that far side, the Angeline was able to get that knuckle puck.
Well, Saravelli might have hooked him just.
Is everybody else on the Felix breakaway just ended?
Yeah.
Yeah, puck just rolled
There's
on
a
him.
goal
huh?
too.
Yeah, there you go. There's Aaron. There's just
See another rebound one.
I never realized how far out Angeline came.
Yes, he does
Yeah.
come out
Real
and
far,
challenge
yeah.
the shooter, Gene, and that rebound got away from him a little
He
bit.
always said I
You could see
interfere with
the
him on this
frustration on his
play,
face.
I remember that.
We're gonna
I
see
think they had a pretty
Celebrity.
good picture of it.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
It was like almost the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Slap shot. He couldn't
How
handle my
far out
rocket.
he is.
See
He's
that?
almost to the hash marks.
It's a good non-call.
Yeah, you're nowhere near him, Pete.
No, I didn't think so.
No. He turned into you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Who's
Aaron
that on?
Hacks.
Who got laid out there?
That might have been Bathgate.
I think they said Shane Riley.
I think it was Riley.
Riley.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get even with him. I have confidence.
So walk me through this experience. Obviously, you're playing at a big-time venue here. You guys are controlling the puck, 2-0 lead. Walk me through where you guys are right about now, mentally and physically.
I think we were pretty used to winning. So I would assume we felt like we were where we should have been.
Yeah, I think once we get up 2-0, I think we got pretty confident. And I guess as we'll see, maybe a little too confident, a little coming up here.
Forecheck aggressiveness to the side of the net, and going out there is Angeline, and he falls on it, and then is fallen on in turn by his own defenseman, Nate Meyers. But we got to stop at your play.
Certainly after a goal, you want to put the pressure on. They always say that the most important shift is the one right after a goal.
Yeah, I really didn't know a whole lot about GA because we didn't play him during the season. All I knew was we had 4 lines that could play. Like we were a pretty deep team, and we were tough throughout the 4 lines. So I was confident that if we were going to lose, like it was probably because we beat ourselves. Like we're a good team.
You were talking. They gave us a run in the third period, though. I'm not watching the game, but I mean, I thought we wore them down, and then they came back strong. I was surprised to see that.
Yeah, Wally, you were talking to my dad a little bit before the game about them because he was coaching North Penn at the time and played them a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
We only had 5D though that year, if I remember, because I think Mike and Bathgate were on the ice every other shift.
I remember Brad and I played every other shift, and then we
man.
kind of rotated the other 3 in.
Yep.
Yeah. So we were deep at forward, and then Garvin was a freshman.
Right.
Yep.
Back here.
You could really move back. Man.
No, you go up 3-0, right?
We could still move, right, Wally?
Yeah, you can still go back. I'll vouch for you.
Keep up with the young kids.
There's Cohen. Where's Cohen living these days?
Still with his parents, probably. Sorry.
Still playing guitar.
Playing his guitar, dude, along Dave Matthews Band.
Welcome to the Zoom, Bobby Farrell.
Well,
I couldn't get a hold of him. I haven't got a hold of Sean Garvin. Salvini's where, in Florida?
yeah, he's
a pilot, right?
yeah.
I think Nowicki is down in the Carolinas.
Dolphy, look at that hair, man. Do you see that? Let's see it now, Rodolphe. Come on, take that hat off.
Make it a little head of his cap.
Oh, don't. Yeah, there it is.
Nowicki was a good story because he didn't start playing hockey till he was a freshman at Lasalle, and he ended up playing varsity, right? If I remember.
Yes.
Hags would know that more than me.
He was a pretty good athlete, that kid.
Yeah. So I think he just started playing hockey when he was a freshman at Lasalle, and he made it up to this varsity team.
He played baseball as well.
And Salvini pitched for Georgetown, I think. I think he went down and pitched at Georgetown.
Yeah, he was a ball player.
Yeah, baseball.
And if I remember, I don't think
hit.
Salvini made the freshman team at Lasalle when because he was throwing the javelin, and I think that helped him become a stronger pitcher when he started throwing the javelin in his freshman year.
Yo, Becker, clean hit or no?
Hands were a little high, but in a game like this, you gotta let it go.
Is that
Brady? Let that go.
What you say to him to get to 10?
Did you get him to
Yeah. Hey, this is a Catholic feed, man. Come on.
Brady, what's Doc D say to you in the penalty box?
Yeah,
that's a good hit.
D never said anything to
That
me
was a good
because he knew better.
What'd they call you for?
Right? A rough?
He called me for roughing, and then
Did he say your hands got
I
up?
told him what I thought of him. And
You just said that it was a bad call, right?
Did you get 10 minutes there?
Yeah, 2 and 10. Yeah,
you did.
He went right to the 10. Wow,
dude, I was so amped up. Like in a game like that, I just crushed that kid. His helmet went flying off, and then he's like, "Nah, it's 2 minutes." I'm like, "What are you kidding me?"
Imagine
And he's like, "Don't talk back." And then I was like, "Yeah, right." Dude.
He's got to put his helmet on properly.
They're 0 for 1 on the evening. They could use a goal right now, very desperately. Penetrates down that right side. Myers is out there, along with Skelton. On the left side, Jabba. At the point on the left other side is Mcdonald. And also in the play, Andrew Nerog, wearing number 10. Picked off by Heron. Heron looks and clears it into the neutral zone.
GA defensemen, Gene, are got to be very careful with the puck because LaSalle will challenge up high, and they'll go for the short-handed goal.
Little pop shot in on net. That generated by Jabba, but it's grabbed by Justin Levin. And we have 1:20 remaining on the power play.
Did some of you guys play club with some of those GA guys this year? Like in this?
I think Dane.
Danoff, right? Harris.
Yeah, Harris.
And what about Narod? Yeah. Or did he move on? Was he not there anymore with?
No, this
Angeline was with us too.
Yeah.
Angeline was our goalie, right?
And Harris.
And Harris.
Yeah, weren't most of you guys playing midgets at Wissahickon that year for Moeller?
Yeah, from Moeller.
Mm-hmm.
Warwick.
Bob and I played with Skilton and Java.
Oof. Who was that?
And McDonald.
Right.
That was the always move, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cioli, what was the game when you turned into Gretzky and scored like 4 goals? Was that the following year, or was it this year? You remember?
You're on mute.
That was 4 games in a row, actually, and that was us.
Was it this season now, or the following?
It was the year 2000 when we lost to Judge in heartbreaking fashion to Viscuse. The overtime against us. That was heartbreaking.
Seal, you had that crossover, dude. It was like you crossed them over and put the puck in between their legs every time, and everyone knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, go-to move for him.
Everyone knew it was going to happen.
Heron, John Heron, and LaSalle. 2-0.
Great penalty killing there by number 16, Ryan Cioli, Gene. He got 2 good scoring opportunities and really put the pressure on.
Nachione in, shot, short side high, and it went off the glove of the goaltender Angeline. Picked up again, and finally Dropped on by the goaltender for the stoppage of play.
Oh, Pete, you just dropped somebody. It was
that was that Pete.
Is that McDonald?
Nice, Pete.
Yeah, I think so.
Damn, McDonald.
You guys were
No
going
call?
at it that game.
Yeah,
Brady gets-
we weren't friends yet.
Oh, you weren't.
Gets 10 minutes for saying great call. Pete just levels that guy. Gets nothing.
Yeah.
Gotta be sneaky.
McDonald was a
We'll
cheap
see if they show it.
He would get after you.
Yeah.
That's how he got the nickname Hank.
Yeah.
Cross check to the lower back.
Oh, it was McDonald. It was him too.
Wally, who you got in the background there?
That's Caitlin. Caitlin's in the middle. Say hi, Caitlin. Germantown Academy.
Oh, you got another one now. Which one's that?
That's Kara, my oldest.
What's your youngest?
I'm sure he'll be here soon. Aaron, you should see this pool I put up in my backyard.
One of those like from a Costco sort of thing where it blows up and you need like
Anybody can go to Costco. I went to Walmart.
Make a centering play. Now gets some help along with Felix, but it's finally controlled, then taken back by and around behind the net. Looks, centering pass. They score on a wraparound. Looks, and it's 3-0, and it looks like Sean Heron has the hat trick.
Looked like Felix in front. Gene may have gotten a piece of it. The puck was thrown out from behind the net, and Felix was standing right to the side.
That was the one I totally forgot that we actually went up 3-0 until about 2 weeks ago.
We got complacent.
Yeah.
So I tell you, we got overconfident. I think at this point we're just, but we're gonna win now.
Didn't the same thing happen with Malvern? Like, we won late in that game too. Like Nachione scored against Malvern.
Overtime.
That one went to overtime.
I don't know if we got up late. I think we went. Were we down, Wally?
We won in overtime against Malvern, and
But I think we were down. All I remember, and you got to tell me if this is true. I'm pretty sure you were ready to yank me in the second, and didn't get the timeout. And I don't know. I didn't know if we were up early or a lot, but I thought we were down in the Malvern game. Did we come back?
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember.
All I know is that we decided we just wanted to win in the last few minutes or in overtime in all these games.
I mean, it never gets easy down the stretch, right? I mean, regular season's one thing, but get to the playoffs and the Flyers Cup and state final games, it's gut check time. It's tough. I mean, it's so mental. I mean, you guys know that. You've all gone on and played well beyond this, but it's very mentally very tough. Not just for players, but for coaches.
Every shift matters.
Where did some of you guys go on to play?
Half of us went to Drexel.
Yep.
I played at
With all these
Villanova.
GA guys.
I played at Duquesne in Pittsburgh.
Nichols College.
I went to work.
Yeah, so Loftus, you went to Nichols,
Yeah,
right? Becker, you went to Drexel. Mariello went to Duquesne. Levin went to Drexel. Still, obviously, very heavily involved with running Drexel's program. Scioli.
I went to Drexel, kind of.
Pete went to Drexel.
Scioli.
Brady Westchester, right?
I didn't play for Westchester. I worked at Iceland. I worked full time. I didn't have any spare time.
Lou, where'd you go? St. Joe's?
No, I went to Villanova.
Yeah, so we still played against each other even in college after that.
Yeah.
V's up, Lou. V's up.
Exactly.
And Riley, how about you? Where'd Riley go? He just
left.
Yeah.
going to see a fight somewhere.
Bathroom break.
Felix, how about you? Where'd you go? Drexel?
Drexel.
Aaron Drexel. Farrell. Lasalle, you?
Yeah.
Loftus was the only one at Nichols. Didn't someone else go to Nichols?
No, Pete went to
Pete
Nichols
went
for a year.
Yeah, I went
And
there.
Urban, Brett Urban. Urban, too.
Yeah.
But he wasn't on this team.
And Higgins went for a year, right?
Yeah, Higgins.
Did he? Higgs went there?
For a year or two? How many years did he do there, Mike?
Yeah, a year. He did a year there.
Holmes, he's hit. And they got a man free at center ice, Kyle Neary, but they couldn't find him in time. And now they'll have to try again. Puck blocked on the far side by Bob Farrell. Finally cleared out. Oh, there's a breakdown that lights Holmes. Got a step. He's going to go right on in. Goes to shoot. Score!
Justin Holmes down.
Bob, the thing is, some of them definitely, I mean, not to say that club hockey is not a high level of hockey. I mean, it's certainly a good level of hockey, but some of these guys definitely could have gone on and played at a higher level, I think, if they really wanted to. You know, back then there wasn't as many junior options as there are now. I mean, it's very much watered down, but there's some guys on this team here that could have played at a much higher level if that's really what they wanted to do.
Yeah, and a big shout out to all those Drexel guys. I don't know how much Justin has told you or if you guys follow along yourself, but I broadcast all the Drexel games these days. Justin's running a good ship over there these days.
Yeah, not so much. Okay. A couple other LaSalle guys that are pulling a lot of the rope.
Is Zoldy still the coach there?
Yeah, Kyle, TJ Lasik, and are the two LaSalle guys at the D1 team. And then I've got Mike Antoni and Gino Angeloni are LaSalle guys that are helping me out, along with a couple other guys, but those are LaSalle guys.
Zoldy's getting married in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Good for him hanging in there, too, amidst all this. Keeping the date, that's impressive.
Yeah. Hopefully all goes well.
Yep.
Aaron just ran someone from behind.
Aaron, what was the year you broke your ribs? Was it this year or the following year?
That was senior year. Yeah.
That was at Hershey, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Twin Ponds, I think.
Twin Ponds. Yeah. Spent a couple days in Hershey Hospital. That was fun. Yeah.
Bars?
Yeah, that was Wissahickon, though, right? That was the Wissahickon game?
Yeah, it was a Wissahickon game against Hershey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think GA just starts stretching guys kind of at different times the rest of the way.
No, Holmes, a couple guys. Oh, shift.
There, Angeline saved disaster. Puck back the other way. There's a break. He's got a man in front of you. Can see them. Goes in front. Lost the shot. Tap shot on the rebound made by Dane. Off, and we get a stoppage of play.
That was a great,
better execution, a more dangerous play.
Great play by Neary, and the defenseman Harris Danoff got into the play, which is fairly unusual. Here you see Neary with the speed, and there's Danoff coming with him, getting up into the play, and he just directed it to net, and Levin tried to make sure there was no holes down low.
Bathgate's local now, isn't he?
Yeah, he should have been on this. He is local. I've been talking to him. I think he's running his – I don't know if it was his dad's or he's running an engineering firm.
Yeah.
He has like 7 daughters or something.
Wally asked me earlier in the game what I thought seeing a game from '98 versus some of the games I'm calling these days. How about to you guys going back and watching this style of hockey versus the hockey that you see these days? I mean, what sticks out to you guys as you rewatch and relive it here?
I'm surprised we had helmets.
Yeah, right.
Riley.
There just seems like there's no space. It's a lot of chipping.
There you go, 11.
Stack the pads.
You don't see that much anymore.
Yeah, I think the goaltending, but I think the goaltending's got so much better. Actually, I don't know. I think the goaltending is just
It's a
across.
different style.
That feels like a technique thing more so than an athleticism or anything else thing, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, growing up, I mean, just from a goaltending, we always had to be skaters. You cut down, cut out the angle. Now it's a lot more less skating and almost more just if a puck's
A lot
on
of butterfly now. Like all you see is butterfly.
if a puck's on the spurt and spot on the ice, this is the position you need to be in. So it's a lot more, it's a little bit more maybe scientific and technical rather than.
Yeah.
I think goalies had to. We skated a lot, and I felt like we had to be good skaters to be a goaltender. Now, I don't think the goalies skate much, to be honest, but they're good. The goaltending has gotten better, actually.
I watched LaSalle play this year. I think one of the big differences I saw was like just their hands, like just with the puck. You can tell they do a lot more, hand work than we probably did, maybe except for Loftus. But the rest of them, I mean, I was amazed with how they handled the puck, honestly.
It seemed a little faster too when I watched that 2008 game. I was pretty impressed with those guys. Those guys can play.
Those guys had 7. Well, keep me honest, 7 D1.
Is that how many there were?
I think there might have been 6, but the thing was they were young too. Like that team had, Bob, do you remember? I think we had 3 seniors on that team.
Yeah, that's right. It was very well dispersed. In fact, I think that junior class was extremely deep. Some of them came back, but I thought that was kind of the highlight as we went through that game is how many junior contributors they had along with Kyle and Dan and some of the senior leadership you talked about.
There was a lot of similarities, like in how, the blend of skill and the compete level were very similar. Like that team, albeit 10 years later, was kind of old school like this team is. This team is skilled, but had that old school mentality of hating to lose more than you like to win, or you hate to lose more than you like to win. And I think that 08 team had a lot of the very similar things, but it's tough. Like if you really had to try to narrow down what were the best teams in LaSalle history, at least in my time there, I think that 08 team is hands down the most skilled team that's ever played for LaSalle. But as you all know, that's just a part of the game. The drive, the compete level, the need to want to win for one another. There's a lot of similarities between these teams. Great goaltending.
I think we just liked. I don't know. I can also speak just for myself. This for me, this is the most fun hockey that I've ever been a part of. I think just we enjoyed coming to the rink. I just enjoyed playing the game, especially this year and the following year. It was just a joy to come to the rink. It's fun.
We played
You were
games.
the goalie. You didn't have to skate or anything.
That's not that true. I skated, I think.
At your pace.
You tell him, Riley.
Back to what you said about the compete, I'd say like our practices, that was probably some of our toughest competition. Like when we do the 3-on-3s where whoever scored would stay on. And then you had the Iron Curtain every once in a while. You and Tommy Rodolfi jumping
Tommy
in.
two-handing everybody.
Yeah. Jumping in the drill.
Wicked two-hander.
It was fun. I think that made us better in games.
Yeah, I think we did bring that same. I think we did bring that same mentality. And you talked about hating to lose. We hated to lose in practice too, and talk about those 3-on-3s or things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, our practices were pretty intense. You guys got into it pretty good in the practices, which was Wally and I always loved that.
You liked it too. I remember you and 2-5 had a nice little battle sometimes there, Tom.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, Rodolphe. How bad did you shit your pants, dude, when he wasn't kidding around?
Who's that, Drew?
Yeah, he was gonna rip your head off, dude.
He was my buddy, man. I used to have to pick him up when he was a freshman and give him rides all the time.
Yeah, not that day though. Ask Nowicki when we were in Pittsburgh and he started messing with him. Dude got tossed through the door into a bathroom tub and he was out cold.
Kev, this is gonna be on the website. You gotta watch the language, man.
Oh, my bad.
Bob has bleeping capabilities, I believe.
Yeah, isn't there a 3-second delay? You have that button you hit like they do on the.
Sorry, these are the type of stories we're looking for.
Yes, in fact, instead of tempering this, I was going to ask for a little bit more context as to what exactly we're talking about here.
Continue, Kev, then.
Yeah, Rodolphe was a cheap shot in practice, man. Would piss everybody off. So I'll just get down to it. And he would smoke people's ankles where there's no pads on purpose. And we're in line.
I would never do that, Kev. I don't know what you're talking
stop
about.
it. Yeah, right.
Then yell at us like it was our fault.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, you give it to him a little bit, and he's like, "Yo, why you got no pads on? What you doing?" And then what'd you do? You hit Drew from behind and called him a baby and slashed him, and Drew chased him around the ice.
I don't remember Drew getting mad at me. I really don't remember that.
I think there was one practice that I vaguely remember where it was.
I love that kid.
You don't mess with a kid with no morals, man.
When he was his freshman year, who was it? You, Becker, and Drew Becker and Heaton. They would just go out and kill people on that JV team. It was so much fun to watch.
Back to the broadcast here. This kid set it up pretty well. That kid could skate.
It was 47. Is that Narog?
That's Neary.
Neary, that's right.
I didn't know him. I actually got to know him because he used to run the rink at class of 23. He was one of the nicest guys.
He annoyed me in this game because every time he'd forecheck, he would just start barking. And I was like, shut the hell up.
Oh, that's right.
He would just bark at you the entire time. Like,
well, he didn't back check much. I mean, he wasn't on the other side of the red line very often.
No, he didn't have much of a game until kind of his end here.
That was GA was like that though. If you remember in '96, the one kid was slew-footing everybody in the semifinals, I think it was.
Didn't they? And then they yelled at who were they? Someone was yelling out on the bench, and it might have been the first game in the final. Was it they were yelling at Roger Williams or they yelling at Pete?
Oh, I remember the one kid broke his leg in that game. The kid that was
the one kid broke his leg in that game.
Seltzer broke
Scotty
his leg,
Seltzer.
right? And his sister tried to beat up Matt Kelly for it.
Yo, they hated us.
But they were always chirping.
All right, guys. So in many ways, a brand new hockey game here. Now 3-2, 11:40. GA's been
Pretty sure we win.
Really great comment there.
Sorry. Yeah.
Where are you at now, though?
I still think here, if I'm remembering, the GA kind of turns it up, and we don't have a lot of pressure on it. And I think maybe this is where we got a little bit nervous here when they got back to 3-2 and they started pressuring us.
Cleared, but not all the way in. That tried by
That was a good block. Someone blocked the shot. It goes the other way.
There's Nachione again, mixing it up.
I tried to feed Sean Heron for the hat trick.
Peril, the defense, and getting up in that play. Both of these teams are very aggressive with their defenseman, Gene, and he got right up to the crease. And somehow Angeline kept the puck out, but we're going to have a penalty on GA. Number 4, Danny McDonald going to the box.
First penalty of the evening for Germantown Academy.
Wally, they just showed the opposing coach, and they were making a big deal of him. I have to say I wasn't aware of this gentleman, but it sounds like it was very much an old guard versus new guard here. Does that sound appropriate?
I knew John Iowa from. He'd been there at least probably 10 years, and his son was a pretty good hockey player, played at GA as well. So I knew his son. His son was a little bit older than me. I think John had a really good reputation, certainly had a good tenure at GA.
Double minor, pardon me, both sides for
Well, we've forgotten about Kevin Brady, who's been in the penalty box for a misconduct and a minor called midway through the second period, but he'll be out shortly.
Do we hear that commentary there, Brady? I think Gene Hart just said, "Oh, you might have forgotten about Kevin Brady there."
Kev, you're muted.
Is that him getting ready to come back on the ice?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was well rested.
on 4 in these situations like they did in the NHL in the last 2 years. Here you still keep the 5-on-5. They figure that if you go to the 4-on-4 too much, I think it would give the real skill teams a little bit too much of advantage.
You know, that used to be that way.
Yeah.
Then they changed it. Then they changed it again. Originally, you'd serve out the full, you'd have a man short, and then they say no, or coincidental minus full strength. And now we go back the other way. There's a shot on the net. Oh, my! That almost tied the game. That shot from the left side by Peter Nero.
It is nice hearing Gene Hart's voice, though. I'll tell you that.
It's like the sound of my youth hockey watching the Flyers on Prism.
Prism.
I did look. I don't know. This, I wouldn't know. This may be one of his last games he ever called. I think he passed away almost a year later.
That Lou with the little cross check.
Tommy, you always pick up on those stick infractions.
Little late cross check.
You respect a good slash. I know that.
Especially right on the ankles.
Of course, it looked
way to go.
Looked like Nate Meyers wasn't exactly hustling back to get that puck. Certainly being a heads-up defenseman, he wants to see that draw back in the other end, and we'll have Coach John Iowa send a different unit out here.
Well, Brady has come back now. He served all of his time. He actually had 12 minutes, 2 for the boarding and a 10-minute misconduct. So now, except for Mcdonald of Germantown Academy and Ethion for Lasalle, they're all available for play. There's a dump. No, there's a 3-on-1 down that left side. Salvini going in, and he lost the shot as he skated right into Nate Meyers.
Great play by Meyers trying to defend on that 301.
Was that Danoff sliding on you there, Heron? Or...
Was that Salvini?
That was Salvini.
Okay.
So it just looks like we just get a little bit complacent. Just keep kind of just dumping it in and not attacking like we were in the first half of the game.
I think the game just ends up being like a ping pong match in the middle of the neutral zone for a good while.
That must have been a change in coaching philosophy. I don't remember us doing that. Nah.
They tied up yet or no?
That's 3-2 still.
9 minutes.
9 minutes left.
Remember the goal because Holmes does a pretty good celebration there.
After this goal? The next one?
Yeah, I think so. I think he scored.
Near he did.
Near.
Oh, yeah. I'll say that when that happens. That really annoyed me when he did that.
Yeah, he did a backflip, a front flip, and landed it.
The camera didn't get that if he did that, Sean. I don't remember that.
I don't remember him doing it. I know he's done that before.
No, he's done that before. I thought he did it in that game.
He did the salute down the.
He did a different one.
I think so, if I remember.
High and on the left side, which really should prevent the scoring opportunities for GA. And it's a very good system because it still enables you to get pressure on that puck. And there's Coach John Iowa and Coach Wally from Lasalle. And shows how disciplined Lasalle is. To try to get a team to play that type of system is very difficult because generally the kids want to chase the puck around. But Merlini got a great scoring opportunity because he was at the top of the slot and almost a left-wing lock type of situation.
Herron in the first period for LaSalle, and again early in the second, Felix made it 3-0 halfway through, and the chances now even at 15. Then Holmes near the end of the second period, and Jabba here early in the third for Germantown Academy, and we have a heart thumper at 3-2 for LaSalle. Long way to go, 8:15. Forechecking. Puck dumped back to the point. Trying to come out, and it's into the neutral zone where Brad Bathgate digs it out. Feeds left side to Herron. Picked off, and it is LaSalle trying to drive it in off the stick of Shane Riley and dump back the other way. There's a foot race for it. Skelton going in down that left wing side. Fights his way past Bathgate, and the puck caroms off onto the goaltender, Levin, and he hangs on for another offensive faceoff for Germantown Academy.
Wally, we weren't. This wasn't an actual varsity sport, right? Or I don't know what the terminology. Yeah. This was still a club, right?
No, it was sanctioned at this time. It was Coach Nolan got like fully recognized varsity sport, I think, after you guys won, those of you that won that 96 Flyers Cup, I think is when it became a full sanctioned varsity sport.
Got it.
How many of us were on that 96 team?
I was on that. Bob.
Brady, Farrell, Mariella, myself. Cohen was on it.
Cohen was?
5-6.
Walk me through that story. So you guys were not accredited probably isn't the word, but sanctioned by the school prior to 96?
It's a club, considered a club sport. So they always had pretty good support, but nothing like it is now. Like that's the thing. Like you look at how far when like Pete Nolan was the head coach for 10 years and how far he brought that program, what he built it from to what it was when he handed it over to me and kind of where it is now. You know, the guys that are viewing this game right now were very much big building blocks in the LaSalle hockey program. You know, I'd say that 96 team were the first. You know, they won the Flyers Cup and took a Meadville team to, was it overtime or 3-1, something like that?
They beat the crap out of us.
We lost by a goal. But
that was lucky though. Like we were lucky to be hanging with them.
Yeah, they outshot us. It was like 40-13. It was crazy.
Yeah, they should have destroyed us. I don't know if it was Vigorita or whoever played an amazing game.
It was McCullion.
McCullion, yeah. It was he did stand on his head. It was an amazing game. We had no business being in that game.
Look a little winded right now. There's a shot toward the net, a spin around. That tried by Salvini to the near side. Becker looks. Boom. Oh, and diving there, and we've got a break. 1-on-1. That's there. He's got speed. He's going to try to cut right in on goal to tie the game. There he is. He scores!
What a great block by Peter Nayrog, Gene, on that shot from the point. Tremendous play by Peter Nayrog as he blocks the shot. The puck gets loose out of the zone. And Kyle Neary picks up the loose puck and ties this game at 3-3.
You just knew he was going to beat him with that speed, and it was just a matter of 1-on-1.
There's the block by Nayrog on Becker. Hopefully Nayrog's going to get an assist on that because that's just a tremendous play. And here's Neary. He cuts left to right and just throws it right off the pad of Levin into the net. We have a tie game with 6:25 remaining.
There he is.
Here's his salute.
Taking the bow.
Giving us the salute to the crowd.
Yeah, that annoyed me.
He'll pay for that.
The good thing with this is now I think we start more of the pressure here. So we didn't even after they get tied at 3-3, we didn't give up. We just kind of went with it and just kind of started taking the pressure to them. So I think we have most of the pressure in the remaining of this game.
Ooh, Mariello. Is that Mariello or Nowicki?
It was Nowicki.
Nowicki.
Little toe pull.
Yeah.
Down into the zone, and that should be an icing.
The scoring play will be Kyle Neary. And now he jumps back in the leading scorers with 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points.
We've got 5:49 left in the third period. The championship up for grabs as we have a tie, 3-3. Well, I'm very astute that I asked you about the rule for overtime because we're 5 minutes away and change from such a situation.
Yes, Lasalle earlier in the week, last Friday night, as a matter of fact, went to overtime with Malvern and won a 4-3 overtime game.
All right, we have Aaron with 2 goals and an assist. On his right, Nachione. On the left, they've got Felix. He has a goal. Actually, all 3 goals are on this line for Lasalle. Popped along the near side. Dug out, slot shot. And that's off the stick of Nachione. Never reaches the net. Trying to clear it out to the near side where it's dug out by Heron. Trying to get it back at the point. They do. Shot. That never reaches the net off the stick near side of Sean Garvin. And up through in the neutral zone. Picked off. Nachione tries to do something with it. Can't. Now busts in along the left side, but he's all by his lonesome. Clears it to the near side. Looking, and clearing it out into the neutral zone is Steve Ciotoni.
GA doing a good job right now, Gene.
Oh, there's Neary again. He's got his man through, and he's caught up to it. They break in on that. Great cover-up play along the near side by Heron. Now he gets off, and he's replaced by Salvini. In fact, the whole unit change. Salvini comes out there, along with Riley, along with Scioli, and on the far side, Loftus. Play into the zone. Lost, and we have a delay off.
Danoff's son is playing mite hockey with my guy over at Wissahickon. Harris is the head coach of the Mites, cross ice Mites.
That's cool.
What's that say about you, Wall?
Still got it, Tommy.
How many of you guys are in coaching these days? I know Justin, obviously.
I was for a little bit.
I coached or assistant coach for the JV team in LaSalle.
Not
I was
coaching now.
Westchester East for a little while.
Not in coaching now, but I was head coach of Upper Dublin for 2 years, and then actually an assistant coach at GA for a year.
Sucker.
Dan Becker refs a lot of games.
Yeah, did I hear that you ref a lot of LaSalle's games, Dan?
Some of them, yeah. What I did 3 games this year, I think.
How much did I pay you for them games?
Wally always keeps score of the penalties I call. I remember it was a couple of years ago. I called 4 penalties in a row against LaSalle, and Wally called me over. He's like, "Becker, it's 4-0. Next penalty better be against them."
Now, has LaSalle won every game you've refed, Dan?
No. That last game I did was at St. Joe's. That was a really good game. You guys really took it to them.
Yeah, the way this season ended was, I mean, tough. I mean, tough for a lot of the teams out there, not just hockey, but to go that far and make that much progress for us, especially senior guys. We had 7 seniors. That's tough for them.
Loft, is that you there?
Yeah, that was that wraparound, Mike.
Yeah, I know. I should have scored that one.
Danny made a pretty good stop.
There's a nice hook there.
While you were talking about this year's team, you guys obviously also defending champs, Flyers Cup level. I think back to the prior year and that semifinal game against Holy Ghost Prep. That was one of the most unbelievable finishes I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was. I think it speaks to a lot of the character that our teams play with. That these guys, the quality that these guys had of never giving up and playing hard to the end. I think that definitely was a testament to the character of the kids. What they pulled off last year, and then from there, going on and winning the state championship after that. Well, Flyers Cup, then state championship. That was the semis. We scored 2 goals in the last 10 seconds to win the game, I think.
Yeah.
1 to tie it, and then something like 7 seconds later scored another goal to win it in regulation.
That'd be a heck of a team to try to get together at some point. Rewatch that game.
Yeah. It's a lot easier now with technology, right? I mean, that's what's impressive about the turnout we have here tonight. You're going back 20 years. It's over 20 years, right? It's not easy to track everybody down.
Luckily, we don't have much going on these days.
Yeah.
Running around, you see.
Getting down to crunch time here, guys. 2 minutes to play here.
Meyers over the line, tries to give it to the near side. Excellent cover-up play by Farrell. There's a break by Brady down that right wing, deep in the corner. Going for the net is Farrell, and that shot is not made as the pass eluded him. Here comes GA back on that right side. Trying to get through is Nero. Drops it into the corner. Shot. That's smothered off the stick far side of John Field. And Philadelphia then has this play out at center ice to Lasalle. Little move inside by Brady, but smarter than that was Noro, Peter, and he get it out of the zone with no trouble. Carrying the puck, Danoff. Harris Danoff gets it into the neutral zone. We're down to the last 70 seconds of play, and we're that close to overtime. Have we ever had a championship game won in OT, Father?
Yes, but I'd have to get the old Gene Hart book out to look that one up right now, Gene.
Cross-ice pass, look out, drive high over the top of the net off the stick of Sean Garvin. Last minute of play, they battle in the corner. Every puck possession now is a game winner to the near side. Garvin again a shot, and that tips wide to the far side. Kept in, around behind the net. Nate Meyers digs it out. He's hard forechecked on the play by Heron. They scramble, they keep it in there. 5 players, finally dug out by Lasalle. They look. Waits too long. We're in the last 36 seconds. It rolls in front, look out! And cleared away a whack shot, and Engeline covered the short side, although it went wide. Dug out, putting on their best foot of the period. Point shot, score!
This was great.
Watch Rodolphe.
Rodolphe and Wally, dude.
Not a great celebration by us there. I think that was it. Me and you, Sean?
Yeah.
You should watch the state game. It's the same exact celebration. To a T.
Number 15. Pardon me, Moriello, Gene, it looked like, yes.
Did you get all that, Mike, or was that a knuckleball?
No, I got that good. I think I surprised him with how quick that was.
No, who was it?
That was a good shot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
Yeah, we got to work on the celebrations.
We said that.
Maybe you guys can redo it.
I think I got that, like I
with
said,
masks
because it was the one-timer. I think I got all of it, and it just got on him quickly. I think it was a nice heavy shot. Low, though.
You're just not used to scoring. That's the problem.
The long 25 seconds now of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good-looking bench cam there as well. I mean, getting both the GA bench and your bench up close, that was a good look into your time out there.
It's definitely the one advantage to when they play the game down in the big arena. Like when they do it in the local rinks, you don't get that, but you play it down at the big rinks, you just don't, there's no environment. There's no atmosphere. The student support like it would be if the game was at Hatfield with 800 people banging on the glass. It's a lot different.
We had that 96, we had crowds, man. And then as the years went on, it just fizzled out.
So you guys prefer the more intimate venue for a game like this?
I do. I think the kids play, it's just naturally easier for them to get into the game when they can hear the fans, whether it's LaSalle fans or the opposing team. It's much easier than an environment like this where you can hardly, you put 1,000 people in the Spectrum, that's nothing, right?
So they only had us in a few sections too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, you guys played at Citizens Bank Park as well when the Winter Classic was here. So I guess not a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was cool. We played Malvern in that. That was neat. Cold.
Was that a league game?
We did play it as a league game. Yeah, because we were able to secure the. Luco's son was on Malvern at that time, so our timing of talking to them about it was very good, and we said let's make it a league game, so it had a lot of meaning.
Yeah. Watch Levin kind of lecture us and tell us to should have let it go.
Yeah, I should have. I probably should have let it go. I don't know. Why.
No, you're telling you. I remember you're like, you should have told us. I didn't know no one was there. I didn't know you were right there. You should just let him play it.
I like that play, Levin.
You liked it?
I did. I like you.
I liked it too.
All right.
Like that, Nayrog is going to try to get this draw back to Dana, and then send it right.
We try to get a line change here. Couldn't.
Well, all or nothing.
We
now.
do. We had Salvini. Well, I watched it. Salvini goes in, takes a draw. I think.
Get lucky. It'll be Nero taking the face off, and the inner arc is Skilton on the near side. Mcdonald at the left point is. And on the near boards, Neary picked off. That should do it. Wound around to the far side by Bathgate. This one is over. And LaSalle has won the Division 3A.
Good face-off win there.
And we'll move on to Pittsburgh.
A very happy group of LaSalle players, Gene. They really had to earn this title after playing an overtime game on Friday night against Malvern Prep, and then coming here with a 3-3 game in the last minute and getting the screen goal by defenseman Mike Moriello. Just a tremendous hockey game, and LaSalle, as you can see, is just ecstatic at this point because they saw that 3-0 lead disappear here in the third period. And as I mentioned earlier in the game, GA was not the type of team that was going to quit. 3-0 was not too much to overcome for them, and they worked hard and had LaSalle back on their heels for a while. And it wasn't like LaSalle was laying back. But Germantown Academy is a very skilled team, and they made sure that they made the most of their scoring opportunities in the third period.
Now one of the great traditions of sports. After what is a heartbreaking defeat for Germantown Academy and a thrilling victory for LaSalle. You can see it out there now, the joy on the left and the disappointment on the right, but they'll gather and shake hands, and you wish all sports events would end that way.
There's actually a pretty good turnout there, huh? I mean, it's funny. You don't.
We had a good crowd that for us.
Well, I don't know if you remember that year, how many phone calls you tried to get so many games that year for these guys. Like you said, we played over 30 games, I think it was. You called all over like the East Coast, I think, to get games for us that year.
Well, we knew they're.
That's how you built
going in that it was going to be a good team.
Yeah.
You know.
But you were trying to build the program at that point, and you were on the phone constantly trying to get games for these guys.
Yeah.
I think that's what helped throughout the whole season. We had a good schedule going up to play Trinity and South Kent and those places and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
Wally,
was
did you have a
more.
cell phone?
What's that, Kev?
Did you have a briefcase cell phone, dude, making all those calls?
Nah, he was using the one where you turn it.
Yeah.
So bring us to the present day here, guys. I mean, obviously, a lot of you guys continued your hockey careers at the next level. How did something like this set you up for success, and what do you look back upon when you relive this day?
Yeah, Bob. For me, I'll talk for. I'll kick it off at least. I think for me, it reinforced that coaching is what I really wanted to do for as long as I could. I said it in the beginning, I say it again, I was fortunate to come into a very good group of guys and skilled hockey players, but I really enjoyed working with these guys, trying to push them as hard as I thought I could, and bring them together. Tom, you mentioned some of the different things that we did. We did travel a little bit more back then than we do now. We could back then, but the idea was that it was going to try to bring these guys together to fight for one another. And I think I learned that they probably didn't need that much, that they just kind of naturally had that. It was a lot of fun, but looking back at it now, I realize how hard it is. We went a 10-year span without winning. It's really hard to win. So I'm really proud of these guys and what they brought to the table and what they did for LaSalle. I mean, they really put LaSalle hockey on the state map by moving on from here and winning the state championship, and something we've done now 6 times, which is pretty impressive.
And a Hall of Athletics induction a few years ago, right, to boot and to commemorate how talented, skilled, and like you said, Wally, the trail that these guys blazed for the hockey program at LaSalle. It's really a great story. I think the game was very emblematic of that. How about Justin Levin? Seeing that from in between the pipes, what do you look back upon when you think of this game?
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly, as I said earlier, I mean, for me personally, the game been as fun as it was that year and even the following year while I was out opportunity to play LaSalle. So nothing but fond memories. I remember after this game, and then, we still had work to do at the state. I remember after the state game, Louis Merlini was just playing. We were just playing. The game was over, and the puck was still out there. We were just still playing a little like mini hockey in the corner of the ice, and the season was over. But I just think the guys enjoyed playing together. We enjoyed being on the ice, and it was quite the thrill. It was a great ride to be on. So I'm just happy to be part of it, and glad to get a chance to reconnect with a lot of guys that I haven't seen in a number of years.
Well, it's great for me as well to have an opportunity to meet a lot of you guys, spend this time with you, and relive one of the great games in LaSalle hockey, LaSalle athletics as a whole, history, the 1998 Flyers Cup Championship. Anything we missed over the course of this couple of hour stretch that the LaSalle community should know before we bid everybody adieu?
The only thing I would add to it, can you hear me? The only thing I would add is that, Wally, I know you said that, the skill and the competitiveness of us. I think coaching played a huge role in what we were able to accomplish. So they deserve as much credit as we do in being state champions. And teamwork, it really it's important. It's more important than individual skill, and I think you've seen it in that 1998 team.
Oh, yeah.
Well said,
Riley.
Yeah, it's great to see all you guys. I hope your families are well, and maybe we'll bump into one another at a game sometime, or maybe out on the golf course, Brady, right? So I all the best to you guys, your families, and hope to see everybody soon. Bob, thanks again for taking the time to do this, and Justin, many thanks to you for coordinating everything.
Yeah, thanks for setting us up, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Great seeing
Appreciate
everyone.
it. And hope you enjoyed this episode of LaSalle Legends. Thanks, all.
Thanks,
All right,
Bob.
thanks, everyone.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.